A very pleasant morning to all my dear little children. Winners are not those who never fail, but those who never quit. It is said by our children's president, our former President of India, APJ Abdul Kalam. With this beautiful thought, let me welcome you all to English online class of Sri Gokulam Public School, Guruvayur. I am Remya, your English teacher. I hope you all are safe and doing well at home, isn't it, children? Yes. So let's begin our today's session. We are discussing the textual exercises of lesson 1, Monkey Trouble. We already discussed exercise A and exercise B. So let's begin with exercise C and we'll see the rest of the exercises. Okay. So exercise C is all about subject and object. So children, I hope you all know how to frame beautiful sentences, isn't it? Yes, you all know. So how do you frame these sentences? The basic structure or the basic pattern of a sentence in English language is you have a subject, then a verb and an object. Subject plus verb plus object makes a beautiful sentence. This is how we frame sentences in English. Okay. So let's see some examples for your better understanding. For example, Elna baked a cake. Here Elna is the subject. Baked is a verb. What do you mean by verb? Verbs are action words, isn't it? Can you tell me some more other verbs? Yes. Read, write, tell, speak, dance, jump, swing. All these are action words. All these are verbs. Now, a cake. A cake is an object in that sentence. So, Elna is a subject, baked is a verb, and a cake is an object in that sentence. Okay. So now let's see the positioning of these subject, object and verb once more. Okay, where we can place subject and object in a sentence. Subject usually comes at the beginning of the sentence before the verb. Here which is a verb? Baked is a verb. And object, it usually comes at the end of the sentence and after the verb. Here baked is a verb and object comes after the word baked, isn't it? Which is object? A cake. And Elna is a subject and that comes usually at the beginning of the sentence and before the verb. So, I hope you understood how to place subject and object in a sentence. Now, let's see the function of subject and object in a sentence. Okay, what is the role played by subject and object in a sentence? Now, subject is a doer of the action. Subject performs the action. Here, who is doing the action, children? Who is baking? Baking is an action, isn't it? So, who is baking? Elna. Elna is baking. So, Elna becomes the subject, isn't it? Yes. Now, who receives the action? After baking, what is the final result or what is the outcome, children? A cake is the outcome of her baking. So, cake receives the action. So, the receiver of the action is called the object. So, what is subject? Subject is a doer of the action and object is a receiver of that action. Now let's see some more examples. For example, Advik plays football. Here, which is the subject, children? Who is the doer of the action? Doer of the action or who is doing the action is Advik. Advik is doing the action. So Advik becomes the subject. Now what is the action done by Advik? Plays, isn't it? He is playing. So plays is the verb. Now who receives that action? It is football. So football is the receiver of the action. It becomes the object in that sentence. Next one. Veni saw a horror film. So Veni is a subject in that sentence because she is doing the action. She is the doer of the action. So Veni becomes a subject. And what is she doing? She is watching or she is seeing a movie. So saw, that is the verb in that sentence. Now who receives the action? A horror film. A horror film is an object in that sentence. Children, the easiest way to find out what a subject is, you can see what the sentence is talking about. For example, Veni saw a horror film. Here, what we are talking about or what is the sentence talking about? It is talking about Veni. So, Veni becomes a subject. Now, seeing what? So, if you ask the question, seeing what? Then you will get the answer for the object, a horror film. That becomes the object. So ask the question what to the verb, you'll get the answer for the object. Okay. And what the sentence is about. See what the sentence is about and that becomes the subject of the sentence. So now let's move to exercise C. Let's see it in detail. The first one is already done for you. Let's see the second one. Meeta is cooking dinner. Here, which is the subject? Who is the doer of the action? Think of like that. The doer of the action is Meeta. Meeta is doing the action, isn't it? Yes. So Meeta becomes the subject. And what is the action done by her? Cooking. So cooking is a verb. And what is the final result of that? Or who receives the action? That is the dinner, isn't it? The dinner becomes the object in that sentence. Next one. She wore a blue hat. So she becomes a subject. Wore is a verb. It is a past tense of wear. Okay. A blue hat. That is the object in that sentence. A receiver of the action. So I hope you understood how to identify a subject and an object in a sentence. So children, try to do the rest of the exercises. Children, I hope you understood how to find out subject and object in a sentence. So try to work out the worksheet that I have attached. Okay, you can write down the answers in your rough note for the time being. Once you receive your enlightened text, you have to copy it down in your text. Use only pencil in your text. You can use pens to write the notes, but never use pens in the text. Okay, to complete the answers in the text. Okay, children, I have attached the listening section and also the pronunciation section. Okay, in the listening section you have an audio. You have to listen to that audio. In that audio there will be a telephone conversation. There will be some dialogues said by them. You have to listen to those dialogues, to those conversations, and complete your answers. Complete your textual exercises. Okay, and I have also attached the pronunciation section. There also you have an audio. Listen to the audio and practice it along with the audio. Say it along with the audio. For example, say it along with me. Grin, green, chick, cheek, ship, sheep. Okay, so in the first section, grin, chick, ship, there you have short E. Whereas in the green, cheek and sheep, there you have long E. Okay, that is the difference. So practice it along with the audio. Children, I hope you understood today's topic clearly. So that's all for today. Let's wind up the session. See you in the next session.